If you talk to your family and friends about menopause, they may mention hot flashes or maybe even those angry woman moments that people put under the umbrella of mood swings. They don't tell you about triggering allergies or developing allergies or foods that you've enjoyed your whole life may suddenly become your worst enemy. Yeah, nobody talks about that. One of the biggest misconceptions is that menopause is basically your period stopping and you go on with your life. That's not how that works. It affects you in so many more ways than you could ever expect. So let's talk about it because these are things I wish somebody warned me about, and ideally, I could help you. So, first, sudden allergies and food sensitivities. Your immune system changes with your hormone fluctuations, making you more reactive. So that means that you could develop allergies or your allergies could get worse. I used to enjoy going outside. I'm a Southern Louisiana girl. I love being outside. But all of a sudden, I'm going outside and I'm itching, and nobody wants to look like that person. So I had to start taking a Benadryl before I went outside, even to enjoy the day with my girls. Common foods that contain like dairy, gluten, whatever, foods that you've enjoyed your whole life, all of a sudden your skin is reacting, you're feeling bloated, or you're having digestive issues or whatever kind of issues. For me, spaghetti betrayed me. I am a spaghetti girl, okay? But I had to switch up using ground meat to ground chicken or ground turkey because spaghetti was making me feel so bad. So that's something you want to look at. What little alterations can you make? Inflammation and joint pain. Estrogen and inflammation have a relationship. It may be a little toxic because as your estrogen drops, your inflammation may go up. So you may feel like you've aged overnight. You think about the times you could get up, hop out of bed, nothing's going on, everything's great, and then the next night you may get up to go to the bathroom and you feel every ache and pain or uncomfortability in your joints. That's because your estrogen is dropping. Random aches and stiffness, even plantar fasciitis, so what you have in your foot, can be linked to menopause. Now, something I've recently started dealing with is called trigger finger, and I have it in my thumb. And normally, I wear this little thing around my thumb, and what it's caused from is inflammation here is affecting the joint in my thumb. So I have to get steroid shots every couple of months, and I'm actually looking into having surgery. So that's caused by inflammation because of my estrogen, because I am postmenopausal. And I have been postmenopausal since I was 46. And at 48, all of a sudden I wake up and my thumb is like this. And to do this was very painful. So if you're experiencing any of the things I'm describing, please talk to your doctor. Don't just let it make your life miserable, especially if it's something you can do something about. Another symptom. We hear about the anger when it comes to mood swings, but the other side of mood swings is anxiety. And if you've never dealt with anxiety, you may not recognize this is what you're experiencing. So anxiety is not just stressed out. It's beyond that. It's stressed for no reason. And you may have heard of the hormone called cortisol. And it makes you feel like anxiety is just like the state you're stuck with. And so I do take natural supplements to help me with that, because anxiety is not a good feeling. You hear people talk about the depression, maybe, or the sadness, or the lack of energy, or other things that would be under that mood swing umbrella. But anxiety is like, I need to go to the store, but X, Y, and Z may happen, and this may happen, and what if this happens? And you're so worked up and haven't even grabbed your keys. That's one of the best ways that I could describe anxiety. It's almost like feeling like the worst is going to happen, not the worst could happen. It's feeling like the worst is going to happen. You may have feel like you're going through what we'll call it an identity crisis, because if you are not the type of person to deal with certain type of emotional things, and all of a sudden you're crying, or you're hyper emotional, that goes under that mood swing category. And I've discussed on different videos that I take St. John's. Sometimes I may take maca or ashwagandha, because my whole menopausal experience has been natural and holistic. Let me try X, Y, and Z before I take anything. And that's my personal preference. But again, talk to your doctor, not just your girlfriends, and not just, getting on Google or WebMD trying to diagnose yourself. Talk to your doctor. Do some research to see what you could do about it, because we're never helpless. Never. As women, especially women that have survived over 40, we're never helpless. Another symptom people don't talk about, but you see it, right? You see it. Unpredictable body changes. You may have been a gym girly your whole life and kept it toned, or at least able to manage your weight. And all of a sudden, it feels like you can't lose weight. Your body is getting looser. Your skin is starting to sag. Your body makeup might have been this, and now it's this. Your metabolism is slowing. As we age, that's what happens. You need to start lifting weights, because you are having to work with your body, not against your body. You're working with the body, mind, and everything that you have now. So you have to let go of who you were before menopause and become friends with who you are now. And y'all have to meet in the middle and adjust. So you may have to change your eating habits. You need to make sure you're getting your protein, and weights are your friend, which I really don't particularly like lifting weights, but the body I have now requires that. It wants that. It wants that more than cardio. So that's something you need to look into. So let's talk about some of the lies, right? Menopause only affects your reproductive system. That's not the truth. Menopause is a whole body transformation, from your brain, your digestive system, your skin, your taste buds, your sense of smell. Menopause is a whole new you. So that's lie number one. Number two, menopause is over once your period stops. That's not how it goes. So the phase leading up to menopause is perimenopause. Once you hit 12 consecutive months, that's menopause. And then after that, you're considered postmenopausal. That's where I'm at and where I've been for 2 years. The symptoms can continue for years if not managed, and eventually they may go away. I've seen women as young as 65, 80, in their 80s saying they still deal with hot flashes. So I do want you guys to get out your head that once you hit that 12-month window, all of a sudden you're relieved from all the perimenopause symptoms. Number 3, if you're not having hot flashes, you're good. Your menopause is not that bad. That's a lie. I would have preferred hot flashes over the weight gain, over the anxiety, over having to deal with trigger finger. So don't let anyone convince you because you're not having hot flashes, because not everybody has that. Don't let anyone lie to you or try to convince you that because you're not dealing with symptom A, your B, C, and D is nothing. That's a whole lie. Everybody's menopausal experience is unique and it's valid. Okay, so this is what you could do. If you're dealing with inflammation, talk to your doctor. I suffered with issues with my thumb for maybe about a month before I actually made an appointment to talk to my doctor. And it was basically based out of ego, because I was like, I don't want to walk around my fingers like this. I ended up at an orthopedic doctor who gave me options and told me there's no 100% cure, right? So we decided a best treatment plan for my thumb with anxiety. Make sure all of your levels are where they need to be, because if different levels of your hormones or the vitamins in your body or what you're taking in, if they're not where it needs to be, meditation may not even help. You know, St. John's wort, ashwagandha may not even help. So you need to make sure your blood work is where it needs to be, and if not, find out what you need to do to get it there. However, I do want to say this. With anxiety and those feelings that you are feeling, and sometimes we feel guilt for feeling a way that we can't really control, I recommend not journaling. We're going to call it a mental brain dump. I recommend everything that you're feeling, write it down. Whatever you feeling like the worst that could happen, write it down, get it out of your head. Then go outside if possible. Go outside and get some sun, some air, and take some deep breaths. Because sometimes we need to step away from whatever is causing us anxiety and come back to a more level place. So try that. But again, always talk to your doctor. And I'm going to bring it back. I'm coming back to that. Support your body. And I say this in, like I said, about you and your body have to become friends now. Your body was your friend back in your 20s and early 30s or whatever, when you were tearing a club up and dropping it like it's hot. But you need to support the body you have now. Find out what's the best exercises that you can do now. Not for a 20-year-old, 30-year-old version of you. With who you are now, what's the exercises you need to do? What self-care do you need to do? Something I recently started doing. When I get up in the morning, I'm like, I need an hour. So when I get up in the morning, I turn on not meditation music, but meditation music without people talking. And I just put my headphones on and operate like that for an hour. Otherwise, I'm not touching my phone. I'm not checking emails. I'm not doing any of those things. So I'm giving myself an hour of no thoughts and just doing. And that way my brain kind of zones out, if that makes sense. If you're checking your phone as soon as you get up for social media or emails, or you're having to put out fire as soon as you get up, your body is on chaos mode. And ideally, we know we want to deal with chaos mode before it happens. So we want to be a little bit more proactive. So try that. Try to give yourself the first hour and time yourself. Okay, I woke up at 6:30. So from 6:30 to 7:30, nothing but an instrumental, and I'm not putting out any fires, if possible. So try that and let me know how it works. The one thing people mess up with is trying to do too many steps to take control of their life on one day. Implement one for at least a week before you add two. So if one is doing that brain dump every day to not have to deal with anxiety, try doing that for a week before you implement number two, which is that first hour belongs to you. You also need to adjust your diet. Pay attention to how certain food is making you feel. If after you eat ice cream, or after you eat a sandwich or whatever, if you notice after that you're feeling sluggish and you're having even more anxiety or more mood swings or more hot flashes, you need to make adjustments. I love coffee. However, I know that coffee triggers hot flashes for me. That's not the issue for everybody, but for me. So finally, the end of last year, I gave up coffee. And it was a process. It was not overnight, but it helped to dealing with hot flashes. So you have to think about that. I love red wine sometimes in the evening because it helps me go to sleep. However, I know if I have wine in the evening before I go to bed, oh, it's going to be a hot night. So I have to debate and have a conversation with myself. Valencia, you know what's going to happen. Is this glass of wine worth it? And if the answer is no, no wine. If I had a particularly stressful day and I need that red wine, then I already know what's going to happen. But you need to be aware of how everything from what you eat to what you drink to what you snack on, how is it affecting you now? So, with that being said, no, you're not crazy. Know that these are different symptoms and things that people may not have said to you, because honestly, most people think about hot flashes or mood swings and maybe even anxiety. So with that being said, let me leave you with three things. You're not crazy, you're not alone, and you don't have to suffer in silence thinking you're a menopausal unicorn. If you've noticed any of the symptoms that I've stated, or maybe some I didn't say, leave it in the comments. Subscribe for more. Share with a friend who needs to hear this, and like the video so YouTube could recommend it to other women that may be dealing with some of these menopausal symptoms. And if there's a particular symptom you're looking for, check the playlist. I'll link it in the description, where I discuss some of the weird symptoms of menopause.